Hi, this is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com. So glad you could join me again. I don't know where you are in your season, but I know where I am in mine, and we're right in the middle of tournaments. So I'm watching tons of competitive matches at the moment, and I'm seeing something going on that I really need to share with you. Because at the moment I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it and it's driving me crazy. And that is this. I watch a lot of players play the match and they're doing exactly the right thing. The tactic is really, really good. But it's not completely effective because the shot itself isn't quite accurate enough. And so what people then do is they go away from the tactic thinking it's the wrong thing to do. And really what I want you to understand is it's the right thing to do. The only difference, and particularly in squash, is 1 inch. 1 inch makes a huge difference in squash. So if you hit your drop shot and you make it 1 inch lower, or 1 inch shorter, or you go and you hit your lob and you put it 1 inch higher, or you make the drive down the wall 1 inch closer to the wall, or you make your cross court 1 inch wider, all of those things will make the shot become much more effective. 1 inch in length. Actually, when you start playing a rally, if you can hit your shot 1 inch longer, actually what happens is your opponent will usually hit their shot 1 inch shorter. That's a 2 inch spread. In squash, that's a big deal. So please, before you throw the baby out with the bathwater, in other words, you throw the tactic away, just try modifying the shot. If it's not effective, modify it by 1 inch. 1 inch you can do, and you might find that suddenly, instead of it dropping onto their racket, you get an error from somebody, or they can't reach your drop shot, and now suddenly the whole game is going to turn around. I hope that helps. So think about that when you're playing your matches. Now, let's start thinking about and building on what we were doing last time, which was planking. Planking is all about getting your core strong, and it's a very useful way of doing it because there's no moving really. That means that your core is going to do the work, but it's not at risk. And I showed you some fundamental planking last week. This week what I want to share with you is some more advanced stuff, because as your body gets stronger, so you're able to do more stuff. If you're able to do more stuff, then your body will get stronger again. So training is all about getting to a place and then challenging the body to adapt again. So I want to show you these few ideas, and when you feel ready, not before, when you feel ready, try them out. So here we are in a plank, and the first thing I want you to do is lift one leg off the ground. Again, what you're trying to do is activate your glutes. You can hold it, go to the other one. Hold it for as long as you feel you can. Don't go crazy. All you're trying to do is activate the muscles, and you can build on the timelines later. Then go to one side, and we did this one where you're holding it. Now what you're trying to do is lift one leg off the ground. Hold it, bring it down, and then you're going to do the other side. And then I'm going to show you some other ones. So now we've got the extreme board, and remember, don't put your hands around the side. Make sure your hands are on the top, and this time you can add the same thing. Lift one leg off the ground and hold it, put it down, lift the other leg off the ground and hold it and put it down. There's your progression. Now remember, I'm always talking about books that I've come across, and I thought about this one and I really wanted to share it with you. Younger Next Year. Now, for somebody of my age, that sounds really appealing, and I'm not always sure that we're always getting younger every year. I think most of us are tending to get older. So this is a great book. It's actually written by an MD, Henry Lodge, and by a friend of his, Chris Crowley. And the thing I found really useful about this book was it told me the science about why I needed to work out, what it did for my body when I did work out, and what it did for my body when I didn't work out. So it gave me a bit more of an understanding of the cause and effect. And because I kind of got that, it started to incentivize me more, because I'm thinking to myself, it's all about choices, remember? We talk about that a lot. And am I going to make a healthy choice and go and work out and sweat for 40 minutes? Or am I going to make an unhealthy choice and sit on the sofa and read? Our body needs both. Our body needs the challenge and it needs the rest and recuperation. So I think you'll find this book really useful. Obama read it. That's actually how I got to hear about it. But I think you'll find that it has some very sound, basic ideas. None of it's crazy, and it's all doable. So if you want to get younger next year, read the book. Then do the stuff. And now it's time for Ask Barb. And I got a question from Tony. And Tony wrote in asking, how do I prevent blisters? And how do I make sure that I don't lose my big toenail because it keeps going black? Tony, this is such a big question, and I think squash players in general probably have an obsession with their feet, because when we play squash, if our feet are painful, we don't want to run, we don't want to move. So keeping your feet strong and healthy is fundamental. And that's why I was recommending the Vibrams to you, because that will actually help your foot health. Now, as far as blisters are concerned, this is a challenge, and I know that some people are more inclined to blisters than others. It seems to be the heat that the foot generates, and it seems to be the amount of sweat that the foot, how much sweat the foot creates during a match. So one of the things is to keep it dry and to try not, and to minimize that burning sensation. I've known people put Vaseline on their feet before they put their socks on. Doesn't feel great, but it does mean that the foot moves a little bit more. I've known people put 2 pairs of socks on. That's another way. Also, I've known them make sure that their foot is actually snug in their shoe. I don't mean tight at the end, but I do mean snug. And I do mean that they need to tie their shoelaces up tight enough to stop the foot moving forwards. Usually the toenail business is because the foot's jamming up against the end of the shoe. So in that situation, you really want to make sure your foot's not moving forwards every time you stop and start. And that means the shoe's got to be long enough to make sure that you're not bumping up against the end, but at the same time it's got to be tight enough to make sure that your foot's not rolling around in it, because that really will cause blisters. So go to your pro shop, ask them to fit the shoes for you, try on a number of different shoes, make sure that it feels really, really comfortable, and take the socks that you're going to wear and put them on so that when you try your shoe on, you're actually trying it in a real situation. Well, Tony, I hope that helps, and I hope it helps all of you who've got sore feet. This is Barb Cooper from HelpMySquashGame.com signing off. See you next time.